A quiet hospital room. Our main character, Ray, finally regains consciousness. As his eyes slowly open, his mind is blank, engulfed in a deep, dark void. He couldn't even remember his own name. Ray, my head. Where am I? And who am I? Just then, the door opens. A stunning woman named Willow walks in, dressed in a formal business suit. At first, her face shows deep concern, but the moment she sees Ray is awake, she masks her emotions and returns to a calm composure. Willow, you're awake? Thank God. I need to inform the doctor. Ray, who are you? Do you know me? I can't remember anything. When Ray asks, who are you, a flicker of deep pain appears in Willow's eyes, as if her heart had shattered. But in the next second, she composes herself and says with a professional smile. Willow, don't worry. You had a severe accident, which caused your amnesia. I am your personal assistant. A few days later, Ray is discharged from the hospital. Willow brings him to a massive, luxurious penthouse. Looking at the surroundings, it's clear Ray is a wealthy business tycoon. But the place feels strangely empty. Ray, so, this is my home? And you're really just my assistant? I feel like there was something more between us. Ray feels strange because even though Willow takes care of his every need, she keeps her distance. She never meets his eyes and always addresses him as, Sir. Willow, sir, please don't say such things. I only manage your work and your schedule. It's time for your medication, I'll go get it. Willow heads to the kitchen, tears welling up in her eyes. She doesn't cry out, but she struggles to control her anger and pain. Before the accident, this same Ray used to yell at her, insult her, and they fought constantly. Willow, internal monologue, you forgot, but I didn't. Our relationship ended a long time ago. The next day, Willow brings breakfast to Ray. The old Ray probably would have thrown the plate or complained, I don't like this. But this new Ray is different. Ray, wow, thank you so much. You work so hard for me. Have you eaten anything yourself? Please, sit with me and have breakfast. Hearing the words, thank you, Willow freezes. She hasn't heard a kind word from Ray in years. Her heart begins to race. Willow, and no sir. I'll eat later. This is my job. Ray, job or not, you're a human being, right? And this soft nature of yours? I really like it. Watching his changed, gentle behavior, both fear and love begin to stir in Willow's heart. She wonders, is he really the same cruel person I used to hate? A few hours later, when Willow is out running an errand, Ray wanders into the home office. He looks through his old files, hoping to learn something about his life. That's when he finds a black envelope inside a hidden locker. Ray opens it, and what he sees inside makes him gasp. Ray, what is this? Inside the envelope were divorce papers. And on those papers, Ray's signature was already there, and on the other side, his assistant, Willow, was listed with her real name. Ray finally realizes that the woman he thought was his assistant was actually his wife, and before the accident, they were on the verge of separating forever. Holding the divorce papers in his hands, Ray's entire body trembles. 1,000 questions race through his mind. If she is my wife, why did she call herself my assistant? Does she hate me that much? Just then, the main door of the penthouse opens. Willow walks in, holding a few bags of groceries. The moment she spots Ray standing in the home office, holding that unmistakable black envelope, her grip fails, and the groceries scatter across the floor. Willow, sir, what are you doing in here? Ray, sir? Are you still going to call me sir? I don't even know my own real name, but your name is written right here on this paper. You aren't my assistant, you're my wife, Willow. Willow falls completely silent. Her face drains of color, turning pale with fear. She tries to speak, but the words catch in her throat. Ray, why did you lie to me? Why did you care for me like a stranger all these days? If we were going to separate, why didn't you just leave me at the hospital? There is no anger in Ray's eyes, only a profound sadness and utter confusion. Willow slowly steps closer to him, her eyes brimming with tears. She can no longer maintain her strict, professional facade. Willow, because I wanted to see if you had truly changed, or if this was just another one of your games. Ray, a game? I don't understand. Willow, you don't remember what kind of person you used to be, do you? You were a cold, arrogant, and selfish husband. This house held nothing for me but loneliness and your rage. You signed these papers yourself, telling me you never wanted to see my face again. Ray looks down at the documents. He can barely believe that the signatures on the page were written by his own hand. A wave of self-loathing washes over him. Willow, when your accident happened, I was ready to leave and put everything behind me. But then the hospital called, saying you had lost your memory. When I saw you there, you looked so innocent, so frightened. I felt that if I forced you to remember your toxic past, you would turn back into that cruel man. That's why I lied and pretended to be your assistant. A heavy silence blankets the room. Ray realizes that he had turned this woman's life into a living hell. He takes a tentative step forward and reaches his hand out to wipe away her tears, but pauses, fearing she might despise his touch. Ray, I am so sorry. I don't remember any of it, but I can never forgive myself for what I put you through. If you want, I will submit these papers to the court today. I won't cause you any more pain. Willow looks up at him. She never imagined her stone-hearted husband would ever apologize, let alone be willing to let her go just for the sake of her happiness. Her heart begins to melt. Willow, no, not yet. The doctors warned that any sudden stress could damage your brain. Until you are fully recovered, we will hold off on the divorce. Ray, so, will you keep acting as my assistant? Willow, no. Now that you know the truth, there is no point in lying. But we won't live as husband and wife either. Until your memory returns, we will just be two people sharing this house. Slowly, their new life together begins. The formal distance between them starts to dissolve. One evening, while cooking in the kitchen, Willow accidentally brushes her hand against a scorching hot pan. Willow, ah! Ray rushes over instantly. Without a second thought, he gently grabs her hand and holds it under cold running water, his face tight with anxiety. Ray, why aren't you more careful? What would I do if something happened to you? Willow stands frozen, silently staring at Ray's face. His touch holds none of the old resentment, only genuine concern and pure warmth. Her heart races. She can't help but wonder, if this new Ray stays like this forever, could I actually love him again? Suddenly, a sharp, blinding pain hits Ray's head. Blurry, distorted images flash violently across his mind, a bitter argument, shattering glass, and a voice screaming in absolute rage. Ray, groaning in pain, ah, my head, what was that? Terror strikes Willow. She realizes his past memories are fighting to resurface. If the cruel, old Ray comes back, the fragile sanctuary they just started to build will shatter all over again. Ray buries his head in his hands and sinks to the floor. His eyes are shut tight, but blurred fragments of his past flash violently through his mind, a pitch-black night, blinding car headlights, and the piercing sound of Willow crying. Without wasting a single second, Willow rushes to his side and places her hand on his shoulder. Her past resentment and anger completely vanish in this moment. Her face holds nothing but sheer panic and concern for Ray. Willow, Ray, please calm down. Don't force it. Don't try to think. Just look at me. Ray slowly opens his eyes. His face is flushed from the agonizing pain, and sweat beads on his forehead. He looks up at Willow. The look in his eyes is still filled with that same innocence, none of the old Ray's cold arrogance. Ray, Willow. I heard someone screaming. That voice, it was mine, wasn't it? I was furious with you. We were having a terrible fight in the car. Is that why I had the accident? Willow's heart sinks. Ray hadn't remembered everything, but he was starting to piece together fragments of that fateful night. She doesn't want to lie to cover up the truth, but she can't bear to see him in this much pain either. Willow, please don't think about this right now. Drink some water first and just rest. After helping Ray into bed, Willow walks into the kitchen and takes a deep, shaky breath. Her heart is hammering against her ribs. She knows the doctors warned that any excessive stress could severely damage his mental recovery. But a deeper, darker fear claws at her heart. If Ray remembers everything, will this new bond of friendship they've just formed vanish forever? Over the next few days, a heavy air of tension settles over the penthouse. Ray becomes quieter than before. He spends hours standing on the balcony, lost in thought. He feels like a criminal, burdened by the guilt of ruining Willow's life. One night, as Ray sleeps, a nightmare grips him. He begins to toss and turn in agony, words escaping his lips in a panicked whisper. Ray, in his sleep, no. Willow, please don't leave me. I'm so sorry. Sleeping in the next room, Willow hears his distressed cries and rushes to his side. Seeing him trembling in his sleep, she sits on the edge of the bed and gently takes his hand. Willow, Ray, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. The moment she touches him, Ray's terror seems to melt away. He gradually calms down and opens his eyes. The room is dimly lit by a soft night lamp. Ray sees Willow sitting right beside him, holding his hand, her eyes reflecting a profound, undeniable love. Ray sits up, but this time, he doesn't pull his hand away. Instead, he tightens his grip on hers. Ray, Willow. I really was a horrible person before, wasn't I? You have every right to hate me. But ever since I woke up, I've only realized one thing. I can't live without you. I can't change my past, but, can't you give me a chance to make a fresh start? Willow is stunned. The husband who used to look down on her and never spoke a kind word was now sitting before her, completely vulnerable and devastatingly sincere. Tears streamed down her face unchecked. Willow, Ray. I honestly don't know what to do. My mind tells me I should walk away from you, but my heart. Before she can finish her sentence, Ray gently pulls her into his arms, embracing her tightly. This time, Willow doesn't push him away. She wraps her arms around him just as tightly. Years of profound loneliness dissolve into a single, desperate hug. The next morning, the heavy atmosphere in the house completely shifts. The walls between them are finally crumbling. Ray is determined to give Willow every ounce of happiness he had stripped away from her in the past. They stand in the kitchen together, cooking breakfast amid shared smiles and laughter. For the first time in years, Willow feels like genuine happiness is finally returning to her life. Suddenly, the penthouse doorbell rings. Willow goes to answer it. As she swings the door open, she finds a sharp, well-dressed young man standing there, holding a business file. It is Arian, Ray's old best friend and business partner. Instead of stepping inside, Arian looks directly at Willow, a cold, intense irritation written all over his face. Arian, Willow? You're still here? Weren't you two supposed to be getting a divorce? And where is Ray? Tell him I need the documents for the company's new project, the ones he locked away the day before his accident. Ray walks out of the kitchen behind her, looking completely bewildered to see Arian. Ray, Arian? What are you doing here? Arian looks at Ray, a calculated smile spreading across his face. Arian, Ray, my brother. I heard you lost your memory, but I certainly hope you haven't forgotten about that massive new deal. You know, the one where you decided to invest your entire net worth. Hearing Arian's words, Willow freezes in horror. She instantly realizes that Ray's accident was no mere coincidence, and the wolves from Ray's past are already circling back to exploit this new, innocent version of him. Following Arian's words, a heavy, suffocating silence blankets the penthouse. Willow's heart hammers frantically against her chest. She knows exactly what kind of man Arian is, not a true partner to Ray, but a cunning, opportunistic leech who has always waited for a chance to exploit Ray's vulnerabilities. Ray stands entirely frozen. He looks at Arian, but his mind remains a total blank. His new, gentle heart is completely unequipped to read between the lines of this deception. Ray, a new deal? My entire net worth? Arian? I honestly don't remember a single thing about the business. My memory hasn't returned yet. A sinister smile creeps across Arian's face. He steps forward and places a reassuring hand on Ray's shoulder, masterfully playing the part of a loyal best friend. Arian, don't worry about it, my brother. So what if you lost your memory? Your best friend is still right here. I'll handle everything. Just sign this new agreement paper right here, so I can temporarily take over the company rights and save us from massive business losses. The moment Arian pulls the papers from his bag, Willow steps directly between the two men, snatching the file straight out of Arian's hands. Willow, angrily, stop it, Arian. Ray isn't signing any papers right now. I need to review these legal documents first. The doctors strictly ordered him to stay away from any form of stress, yet you walk in here and immediately dump all this corporate pressure on him. Arian's smile instantly vanishes, replaced by a flash of unadulterated hatred toward Willow. He leans in close, lowering his voice so only she can hear. Arian, don't test me, Willow. I know exactly why you're playing this little assistant game. You're just lingering around for Ray's money. Did you forget? Ray absolutely despised you before the accident. If I trigger his memory right now, he'll throw you out of this penthouse in a heartbeat. Willow's face drains of color. Arian is ruthlessly weaponizing the exact fear she has been trying so desperately to bury, the sudden return of Ray's old persona. Ray, in a firm tone, Arian. Do not speak to Willow like that. She is taking care of me. And as far as the business is concerned, no signatures will be made until I am fully recovered. Arian realizes that this new, altered version of Ray is entirely fiercely protective of Willow. Masking his mounting irritation, he steps back and pulls the file away from her. Arian, fine, Ray, whatever you say. Just remember, every single day in business means millions down the drain. There is a major board meeting tomorrow morning, and I expect you to be there. Arian walks toward the door, but before stepping out, he glances back at Willow and gives her a chilling, knowing look, a silent warning that this game is far from over. The moment Arian leaves, Ray approaches Willow. He notices that her hands are still visibly trembling, and her eyes are wide with lingering fear. Ray, Willow, are you all right? What did Arian say to you? And, is it true? Did I really hate you so much before the accident that you were going to leave me? The haunting weight of his past returns to shadow Ray's eyes. Fighting back her tears, Willow gently takes his hand. Ray, please, don't listen to a word Arian says. He is not your friend. He only wants to seize your property and control your company. Tomorrow's office meeting could be dangerous, but we have to go. We need to expose his true intentions in front of everyone. Ray, I can doubt the entire world, Willow, but I could never doubt you. If you are by my side, I will absolutely be at that meeting tomorrow. Ray slowly raises his hand, gently cupping Willow's cheek. His touch is so soft, so brimming with genuine sincerity, that Willow's lingering terror vanishes for a fleeting moment. Late that night, a sleek black sedan sits idling outside the penthouse building. Inside, Arian is on the phone, a twisted, malicious grin carved across his face. Arian, on the phone, yeah, everything is in motion. Ray has definitely lost his memory. He's acting like an innocent child, but his wife, Willow, is standing right in my way. A heavy, distorted voice answers from the other end of the line, then use the old methods. If his memory isn't returning on its own, give him a psychological jolt at tomorrow's meeting to force it all back at once. The moment he remembers how he used to treat Willow, their little fairy tale will destroy itself. Arian lets out a low chuckle. Arian, you're absolutely right. I know exactly what to do. At tomorrow morning's meeting, I'm going to show Ray something that won't just shatter his mind, it will permanently ruin his life. Arian hangs up the phone and looks up at the glowing windows of the penthouse. Tomorrow would be the day everything shatters. The next morning, a heavy, suffocating tension hangs over the penthouse. Ray stands in front of the mirror, getting dressed. Dressed in a sharp black formal suit, he looks exactly like a powerful business tycoon. Yet, there is no arrogance in his eyes, only an undercurrent of deep anxiety. Willow steps close to him to adjust his tie. Willow, anxiously, Ray, if you aren't feeling up to it, we don't have to go to the office today. We can find another way to stop Arian's schemes. Ray gently catches Willow's hands on his tie, forcing her to look into his eyes. Ray, no, Willow. If I back down today, Arian will know I'm weak. He'll put even more pressure on you. Even if it's not for myself, I have to be strong for you. While Ray's words give Willow a surge of courage, the dread in her heart refuses to fade. She can't shake the feeling that something terrible is about to happen. Shortly after, Ray and Willow arrive at the company headquarters. The moment Ray steps inside, the employees look on in sheer astonishment. Whenever the old Ray used to walk through the office, everyone would bow their heads in absolute terror. But today, Ray offers them a soft, polite smile as he passes. They head straight into the board of directors meeting room, where Arian is already seated, flanked by the company's major investors. Arian, smiling broadly, welcome, Ray. I'm glad you took my advice and showed up. Everyone has been waiting for you. Ray takes his seat at the head of the table. Willow stands directly behind him like a personal assistant, but her sharp gaze tracks Arian's every single movement. Arian, all right, let's get this meeting started. As you all know, Ray's accident has severely delayed the signing of our new project. If these papers aren't signed today, our investors will pull their capital out entirely. Arian slides a thick file across the table in front of Ray. Ray picks up the pen, but as he tries to read the words on the page, a sharp pain flares up in his head. His vision begins to blur violently. Willow, instantly cutting in, wait. Ray isn't signing anything yet. I need to review these legal documents first. Arian, snapping in anger, Willow. You are just an assistant. You have absolutely no right to speak in front of the board members. The moment those words leave Arian's mouth, Ray slams his hand onto the table and stands up. For a split second, a flash of that terrifying, old fury burns in his eyes, causing even Arian to instinctively flinch back. Ray, in a deep, booming voice, Arian. Watch your tongue. Before Willow is my assistant, she is my wife. If she says the documents need to be checked, then that is exactly what will happen first. A dead silence blankets the boardroom. Arian realizes that pushing this new Ray too far could backfire spectacularly. He instantly shifts his tactics. Arian, with a sinister grin, oh, my apologies. I forgot. Well, if sister-in-law has her doubts, let me show you all something else. Perhaps this will help our CEO regain his missing memory. Arian pulls a remote from his pocket and switches on the boardroom's massive projector screen. Arian, Ray, on the day of your accident, you locked a private video file inside the office's personal server. You gave strict instructions that if anything happened to you, this video should be played in front of everyone. Take a look, maybe you'll remember your past. A video begins to play on the screen. The footage is shaky, clearly recorded surreptitiously on a phone. The video shows an office room, the very office inside their penthouse. The old Ray is standing there, towering over a weeping Willow. He looks incredibly cruel, his face distorted with pure rage. The Ray in the video, screaming, Willow. Marrying a middle-class girl like you was the absolute biggest mistake of my life. I despise you. Look at these divorce papers. I've already signed them. If you dare step a single foot out of this house, I will completely ruin your entire family. In the footage, Ray furiously hurls a glass against the wall. It shatters violently right next to Willow, who covers her face in sheer terror. Standing in the boardroom, Willow's entire body begins to tremble as her old wounds are ruthlessly ripped open. Ray stares at the video playing on the screen, his mind freezing in horror. The man in the footage looks exactly like him, but that voice, that unhinged rage, it was monstrous. Suddenly, a blinding, explosive pain tears through Ray's head. The sound of the shattering glass echoes violently inside his mind. He gasps for air, unable to breathe. Ray, crying out in agony, ah. My head, no. That's not me, that can't be me. Ray collapses to the floor, clutching his head in desperation. His eyes turn bloodshot as his old memories come rushing back like a catastrophic tidal wave. Arian steps forward with a cruel laugh, looking down at Willow. Arian, see that, Willow? Your sweet, loving new husband is actually a monster. And now, he's finally remembering who he is. Ray remains collapsed on the floor, both his hands pressed so violently against his temples that his knuckles have turned white. Inside his head, a storm of 1,000 memories, old bitter arguments, the shattering sound of glass, and his own echoing, rage-filled voice collide all at once. The investors seated in the boardroom stand up in a panic, but a malicious smirk plays across Arian's lips. He knows his psychological trap has worked perfectly. Arian, what's wrong, Ray? It all came flooding back, didn't it? You remember exactly how much you used to despise this girl, don't you? Dropping all pretense, Willow sinks to the floor and pulls Ray into her arms, completely ignoring the staring crowd. Her tears stream down, staining the fabric of his suit. Willow, crying softly, Ray. Look at me. Please open your eyes, Ray. Suddenly, Ray's body goes completely still. He slowly lifts his head. The innocence and gentle warmth that had filled his eyes over the past few days have completely vanished. His gaze is now cold, detached, and piercingly deep, exactly like the old Ray from the footage. Ray stands up slowly, adjusting his suit jacket. His entire posture has shifted back to that of a commanding tyrant. He looks down at Willow, but this time, his face is unreadable, completely blank of emotion. Arian, yes. Now that looks like my real business partner. Come on, Ray. Kick these deadweights out and sign this file. Ray looks at Arian, then down at the file resting on the table. He steps forward deliberately, picking up the pen. Everyone in the room holds their breath, assuming he is about to sign his empire away. But in the next split second, Ray grips the file, tears it clean down the middle, and hurls the shredded papers directly into Arian's face. Arian, stunned, Ray? What the hell are you doing? You remembered everything, didn't you? Ray, in a cold, heavy voice, yes, Arian. I remember absolutely everything. I also remember that the very same company server you stole this video from holds another encrypted file, one containing every single piece of evidence regarding your corporate fraud and black money. Arian's face instantly drains of color, turning a sickly pale. The board members begin whispering and exchanging frantic glances. Ray, I remember exactly who sabotaged my car's brakes on the day of the accident. Arian, you thought that once my memory returned, I would throw Willow out. But I also remember that while I may have been a bitter, angry man, I was never a treacherous snake like you. Without losing a beat, Ray calls security and orders them to hand Arian over to the police immediately. Arian is dragged out of the room screaming profanities, but Ray doesn't even grant him a backward glance. Terrified of being implicated, the investors quietly scramble out of the boardroom, leaving the space entirely empty. Only Ray and Willow remain. Willow stands up from the floor, her heart heavy with an agonizing weight. She is relieved that Arian has been brought to justice, but a terrifying reality settles over her. Ray remembers everything now. He remembers their mutual hatred, their toxic fights, and the pending divorce. Willow, in a quiet whisper, so, you remember it all? Even the resentment between us? Ray turns around to face Willow. He steps toward her, his expression intensely serious. But as he stops inches away from her, the chilling coldness in his eyes dissolves, replaced by a raw, aching vulnerability. Ray, yes, Willow. I remember what an absolute monster I was. I remember every single tear I forced this innocent face to shed. Slowly, deliberately, Ray drops to his knees right there on the floor in front of her. The powerful, untouchable business tycoon has completely surrendered his pride at his wife's feet. Ray, I am not even worthy of asking for your forgiveness. If you choose to turn around and walk out of my life this very second, I will not stop you. But even though my dark past has returned, the profound love I discovered for you in this second life will never fade. Willow stares down at him. The remarkable transformation she had witnessed in the amnesic Ray is still burning brightly within the man standing before her now. His destructive arrogance has been completely shattered. Willow steps forward, gently pulls Ray up from his knees, and buries herself deeply against his chest. Willow, I absolutely despised the old Ray, but I refuse to let this new Ray go. They lock each other in a fierce, tight embrace. The resentment of their past dissolves completely, transforming their broken bond into a beautiful union built on truth, redemption, and unconditional love. And with that, our story comes to an end.